What's up, y'all? This is Franchise Play, and we got another episode of Throwback Thursday. This is episode 30. You understand me? 30. I mean, how? Come on. That's dope, right? It feels good to me. We got College Hoops 2K7. You saw JJ Redick was on the cover. How many of y'all thought JJ Redick was going to be a bust? How many thought he was going to be a bust? I didn't think he was going to be a bust. I thought he'd be a good player, and I think I think my expectations for J.J. Redick was about right. The thing I knew about him was that he is a big-time competitor. And, yeah, even though he's not the greatest athlete and slightly undersized at two-guard, I knew that this dude was a competitor, and he's driven by people. He's driven by haters, pretty much. And when you like that, you're going to be able to accomplish some stuff that, people say you may not be able to. So that was that. So in regards to College Hoops 2K7, the roster I picked, or the games that I picked, was actually the UConn Huskies against the Syracuse Orange. This particular game, though, this matchup, these two teams weren't all that great this year. You know what? I should actually probably rephrase that. In terms of the way the guys turned out in regards to their NBA careers, they weren't that great. So I should probably put it like that. I mean, I don't know. Well, UConn was not that good. UConn was 17-14 that season, and Syracuse was 24-11. Neither of them were ranked. So there you go. Take that for what it is. This particular year, Georgetown was really good. They were number 8 ranked in the nation, and they won the Big East tournament. So that was that. But this is the team I picked this time just because. I don't even know. I can't even tell you why I did it. But let's look at some of the things with the game. That jump ball was weird. It's like a little button mashing thing for the jump ball, which I think is actually, I'm not a big fan of button mashing stuff in a lot of instances in sports games or in video games, period. But the button mashing thing I think is cool for jump ball. So they changed some stuff from this version to the last College Hoops version, which came out, College Hoops 2K8, which was when Greg Oden was on the cover. I'm pretty positive I did that in a previous episode of Throwback Thursday. But here we go on the fast break, the two-hand jam. I believe that's, I don't know, I think that's Paul Harris. I'm not sure who that was for Syracuse. But yeah, if I just told you some of the people that was on this roster, man, you probably most of them you'd be like, who? UConn had Jeff Adrian, Jerome Dyson, AJ Price, Hashim Thabit. Hashim Thabit was like a freshman, but he was super, super highly touted. With Syracuse, the roster was probably even less, whatever. Andy Routens was on the roster. Paul Harris was a freshman. I really thought Paul Harris was going to turn out to be a really good player. It didn't work out. Eric Devendorf was on this team. He ended up having a pretty good career overseas, but Daryl Watkins, Arinze Onwuaku was on the team. I don't know. You know what? I got to see what happened to Paul Harris, because I thought that guy had as a defensive stopper kind of a guy, I thought he had a chance to really be good. He was the Big East preseason Rookie of the Year, so, thinking that he averaged like 8 points, 6.7 rebounds a game. He did his thing, but in the pros, it didn't go well. He went undrafted. He declared early and ended up going undrafted. But I think he signed on. I'm reading this as I'm talking. He signed on as a undrafted free agent, but didn't make the team. He spent some time in the D League. That didn't work out. He ended up getting season-ending ankle surgery. Long story short, just a month ago, he signed to play for the Talk and Text Tropang Texters for the third time in the Philippine Basketball Association. The Talk and Text Tropang Texters. Wow. Well, I guess if they paying money, hey, you talk and text, right? That's what you'll do. But yeah, so that's what happens to a lot of guys, man. A lot of times if you sitting up and you wondering, I wonder whatever happened to, check the international leagues. That's more than likely where they probably playing. If they're not in the D League, that's probably where they playing. Look at this. They threw some bad passes on the inbounds, and that's no, is that Devendorf? I'm like trying to see the number. I don't know if that was no, that was Devendorf. That was Devendorf. Devendorf, I believe, was 23. I think Andy Routens was like number 12 or something. So that's how you do it, Bill Raftery. I'm trying to, I'm trying to pick these passing lanes, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. Even back here in 2000, this came out in 2006, but in College Hoops 2K7, even then, 2K just has a flow for basketball that really works out. I like this trap, and I wasn't really handling it too well. But, yeah, AJ Price on the foul. They just had a flow for the way the game of basketball is supposed to be played on a video game. And it's undeniable. This same, like, I can pick up this game, College Hoops 2K7, and play it and still get that fun factor from playing video game basketball and the same type of feel you get when you're playing NBA 2K. And that's not always that hadn't always been the case with some of the live games, I think, which is why it started to fall back. And then, of course, you got things like graphics and all that kind of thing. But I got faith in some live this year. I'm not going to go all out and say something like, it's going to be better than 2K. I'm not going to say that. But I didn't think it was horrible last year. I thought it was clearly not as good as 2K. But I didn't think it was the worst basketball ever made. Like, a lot of people was just like, oh, my God, I'm going to just slap myself because that's so bad. I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was like, maybe a 6.8 to a 7. I think I rated it something like a 7.1, 6.871, something like that. That's what I thought it was, because there were some things on it that I liked. Presentation stuff I liked. Just some stuff I liked, but nowhere near as good as 2K. Just know it wasn't as good. It wasn't as good. Easy, and you could tell from the series and stuff that I did, because if I thought that live was better, I would have done my series and stuff like that on live. I'll say this, that I think that live will probably get me to do at least, that was nice there, will get me to do at least one series with it this year, especially if it has some unique modes and stuff. I don't know. We'll see. Because I just said that I was going to get into my team from the beginning this year, but who knows? What if the game is good enough, maybe I'll do Ultimate Team instead of my team. I don't even know. I don't think I'll do both, though. I think I would be flat out lying to you if I said I was going to do both. But it depends. How sexy can they make Ultimate Team that would make me, be like, well, and with this whole concept, I'm gonna go with them instead of, and not in addition to, my team. So I don't know. But all of that said, we about, what are we, almost 8 minutes into this video, or more than 8 minutes into this video, and I have not said what is really the biggest deal in regards to this whole thing. We need another college basketball game, y'all. We need it bad. You understand me? We need it bad. I mean, it's sick. I don't know what's got to happen, man. I already know all of the, licensing stuff. I know all of that, man. And I totally understand these companies not wanting to make a college basketball game that doesn't have real teams. Ooh, I pulled up from another county. Back up. Look at that. But, yeah, man, I totally understand, them not wanting to make a game with no teams and no real schools and, obviously no real players and real being whatever about, allowing you to edit guys, all of that, the whole thing. I understand, right? Because they could make a game that, doesn't have any real teams and don't have real players, and they're not even modeled after the guys, and you have to go in and rate everybody. I can understand. They could do that. But the point is, would people really dig that? Like in masses, would they dig that? Would they be willing to do it? Now, I know I would. I'll do a series rating players in a minute like I did my draft classes and stuff. I'll have a ball with that. But that's just me. These companies, they got to figure out how would a lot of people buy this game, because it's still going to cost them money to make it, right? So it's like, I feel that. But at the same token, I'm like, man, I need a college basketball in my life. Now, I think the game would actually be even better if it didn't have all of that stuff. If it didn't have all of the real teams, because they'd be able to do exactly what they want. Whatever company it is that made this would be able to do exactly what they want. But right now, man, that's just a dream, And this was the 30th episode of Throwback Thursday. Y'all subscribe, follow, and God bless.